Well, City News did things a little differently with this first provincial leadership debate. We brought some of the people featured in our stories to ask questions about the issues that affect them. So how did they feel about the answers they heard here tonight?
They really didn't answer any of the questions.
Well, I'm going to make sure that we have proper funding, proper resources, proper schools for any children with autism. We will be there to support you 1,000%.
A consensus among those asking the questions tonight. The leaders were mostly vague with their promises.
The consumer protection aspect of this is extremely important, and so we are working to make sure that those contracts, that there's fairness.
Of course, I think a lot of these leaders just had to use their platitudes.
Well, they need to actually be more specific in their answers.
I think what wasn't said probably stood out to me more.
I can assure you, we will put the proper training in for de-escalation. We will focus on every single police services across this province to make sure we take appropriate actions when it comes to de-escalation. Thank you.
Those asking the questions agreed. Despite his jabs at his opposing party leaders, Ford especially was lacking in specifics.
You believe, Kathleen, is tax, 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 spend, spend, spend.
I was surprised how ill-informed on some of the issues Doug Ford seemed to be, to me. I mean, and maybe it's because he's late to the game, I guess, but I just don't think you can learn this on the job.
When it came to guns and gangs, you've cut policing.
No, so that money, the money that went into that task force went into community policing. The money was not cut. It was redirected into community policing. So you should know that, Doug.
No.
The other
Joanna McIsaac says for her, Ford's lack of substance tonight has led her to no longer consider him as a contender. And she's now deciding between the Liberals and the NDP.
It was down to 2, and now it's kind of flipped to well, there's still 1, but it's to the other side now totally.
Or the way they look.
As for the Liberal leader,
I feel like Kathleen didn't do such a good job of answering questions, and really she just tried to divert the attention from her past.
We rebuilt the system. That cost a lot of money. We've now spread the cost over a longer period of time and gave people a 25% reduction.
After you gave them a 300% increase,
because
Kathleen,
we built the
you
system.
ignored people for years and years and years. Carding should be banned in Ontario.
But the surprise for many was the performance by NDP leader Andrea Horwath.
I'd have to say Andrea was probably the most specific and probably hit the nail on the head with the specific issues that us transit riders are facing daily.
$330 million is what we're going to be providing just for the City of Toronto, but around the province, transit systems will get operating.
Andrea Horwath did a little bit of better job of answering questions more directly.
Really good. Whereas prior to this debate, I think many people, including myself, may have been somewhat unfamiliar with her. But afterwards, we were looking at her like, wow, she kind of demonstrates leadership.
You're serving, you can have.
But will it be enough to make her a true contender?
I thought Horwath won the debate, but politically speaking, I don't think the NDP can run a province like Ontario.
And it seems that Twitter agreed with the winner tonight. 43% thought Andrea Horwath came out on top, followed by Doug Ford with 39%. In the studio, Janella Massa, City News.